Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome. I am Angel Vasquez, and today in this video we'll be talking about um, how to analyze data with Excel. So first off, we're going to have a bunch of students and their grades, okay, as an example, and we're going to find the average for each student as the overall GPA per se, okay, and then we are going to find the lowest grade per student and per class, the highest grade per student and per class, and we're also going to find the in graphs how we're going to build graphs with that table. All right. So to get started, the first thing that we need to do would be to go ahead and go to office.com, open Microsoft Excel, and go to Microsoft Excel Online, right? You can open Excel app. I don't mind. Actually, it's better. You have more features and it's more comfortable. But I'm doing it here in Microsoft Excel Online because since it's limited, uh, if I do it in the application, people might get lost, okay? So to avoid that, I am going to do it here. So the first thing I did as soon as I opened it was change the name of the file. We should always put the name of the file, save it as something that we know we're going to remember, right? Something that's relatable to what we're doing. And then I put it right there, the columns and the names of the students. Then I started inputting the information right here. Okay? First the columns, then the names, and then the information. First columns, then rows, then information. Now, pause it right now. Pause this video so you can copy down those values, alright? In your Excel table, copy all these values. Alright, now, here the first thing that we're going to do with these is to find out the average per student, alright? So let's go ahead and click and write average. Boom, boom. Good. Now, I bet you already know how to find the average, but let's review real quick. So to find the average, we need to add all these numbers, and the result that we get is what we have to multiply by the amount of numbers that we have. Okay? Confusing? Maybe? Alright, let me explain it in Paint real quick. So let me choose a cool pen. Yes, zoom in. And I am using my mouse, I'm sorry. So bear with me. Okay, so we have a 4. We have a 3. We have a 5 right here. We have a 7. And we have a 10. We have a 9. And a 15. Yes, there we go. Alright, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 numbers. And as I mentioned before, we need to add all these numbers and divide them. I'm sorry, I said multiply earlier. So we need to divide them, divided by how many? By how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By 7, by the amount of numbers that we're adding, alright? So let's put the plus symbol right here, plus symbol right here, plus symbol right here, plus symbol right here, and here, and here. Alright, now, what do we have as a total for all of this? Right? So we have 10 plus 15 equals 25, plus 9, 34, plus 5, 39, plus 3, 42, 46, plus 7, 55. Alright, 54. Ahora sí. And now we divide that by 7. Alright, since I do not know how much that is, I am going to use my calculator. Alright, and let's verify the addition as well. So 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 10 plus 9 plus 15. 53, look at that. I was close, but not close enough to be correct. So it's 53. Whoopah. There we go. 53 over 7 would be how much? Boom, boom, boom. 7.57. Alright, so the average here would be 7.57. This is our average, what we are looking for. Alright, so now I'm going to close this. Now that we have that, how do we apply that here? Well, remember the grocery exercise that we were doing? Well, we have to put the equal symbol to assign a value to a cell, right? So this cell will equal this number plus this one. Ah, I got no. Why are we doing it like this? Remember, we can use sum and then establish a range inside, alright? Right here. Boom. Boom. Way easier. So right now we have 463 as a total. That is still not an average. Alright, so we need to find the average. So we need to divide that by how much? By 6 in this case, right? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we find the average. So if you did it like this, like using this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this, you'll notice that there's a slight difference, even though you did the same thing. It is because remember that in algebra, in math, we have a set of rules, and what and multiplication and division go before addition and subtraction, and we go from left to right, right? So we are first dividing 6 and G2. So what we're doing here was G2 over 6 and then adding the rest instead of adding everything first and then dividing the result by 6. Get it? So what we need to do to fix that would be adding a parenthesis. Yes, that is useful. Now, there we go. Alright. So now another way, another shorter way, would be right here. Instead of, you remember this? Auto sum. So we click on the little arrow and then we go to average. Click on that. And it says average equal, this cell will equal average of these cells. So it says of H2, but we don't want H2. We want these ones. Perfect. So it works just like sum. Remember for adding? Yeah, just like that. Boom. And now we use the holy grail of copy paste. You see the mouse transform right here in the corner? Not here, here, not here, here, right? Drag it down. Boom. And now we have an average for all the rows. Perfect. Try doing that and continue when you finish. Now, we're also going to find the highest score for Marco, his highest grade, his lowest grade, and we're also going to do that for the highest grade of history, lowest grade of history, and for each class. Okay, let's do that. So highest and lowest. I'm moving with my arrow keys. Highest and enter lowest. There we go. So over here, let's start with history class or with Marcos. Let's go with Marcos. Right here, we go to add a sum. We go to maximum, highest, max. From where? Well, from starting from history all the way to PE, not average. Do not include average, okay? I press enter. And then, holy grail of copy paste. Magic. And then, we do the same thing over here. Max. And copy paste. Ta-da! Now we do the same thing with lowest, minimum, lower here. And now, don't include average or highest, okay? And there we go, the lowest score here is 15, you see? Dun, dun. The highest score for Marco is 93. Right? Ta-da! And over here as well. Wepa. Wrong number, wrong key. And lowest as well. Without including the highest. All the way to PE. Perfect. Right now we can analyze real quick. What's the highest grade in PE 98? What's the highest grade? Oh, 100? Alexa? Oh, nice. She got that 100 in Spanish. You see, we're able to analyze the information quicker that way. We don't have to go like, okay, who's the highest score here? No. Alright, so let's add a little formatting to it. Remember that? Yes, I bet you do. So what we're going to do is this. Boom, boom, highlight all the cells in which we want to add lines and borders to. And then I want to remove them from over here. So this is what I'm going to do. Boom, boom. And also I want thick borders around this area. You see, personalize it. Put it as you would like to have it, okay? And also around this area. Boom. You see? This is my case because I prefer it like this. And like this. Now, here we go. Alright, and then I start adding colors to it a little bit, by little bit over here. You guys already know this because we've done it before. And now, this is the main data, and this is all extra, right? Like analysis and stuff like that, right? Boom, 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 boom. Now, what we are going to do now with this data that we have is that we're going to create a chart. Yes, we're going to create a graph. We could use another sheet right here, rename sheet. So a workbook, right? We are in an Excel workbook. We can have multiple sheets that connect to one another if we wanted to, you see? But we're not going to do that right now, but it's good to mention it. Now let's just name this one student grades, like that, like this. Boom, boom. Alright, now another sheet could be just for a student roll book instead of for the grades, for attendance. Another one for graphics, statistics. Another one for assessments or observations and conduct, for example. Alright, but for now we're just gonna have this one, and right here we're gonna input the graphs. Now, in Excel application, you have way more features and more styles here in this area, more flexibility. In this case, we're going to use simple graphs, okay? So it basically works the same way. Right here, we're going to go to Insert. We're going to click on the graph that we want. In this case, we want a 2D column graph right here. And you're gonna have a white block that's empty. You're like, what? Why is this empty? I don't understand. Well, basically we have to tell the chart what information it will present, okay? So we need to just tell it that we want this information to be shown in the graph. Not this, not this, not this, but this, okay? So let's get to it. We click on the graph, we go to chart right here, chart tools, we select data, and it starts in A1, including these names to, because in the graph you'll see that it tells you, oh, this is history, oh, this is English. All right, so right here you put A1 all the way range like this to G7. G7. Okay. Ta-da! So let's analyze this real quick. We have history, all from history, all the grades from history. We have all the grades from English. Look at this blue one, little tiny one. That's Marcos, you see? Look at the legend. So we have a legend right here on the bottom. We have a measurement. We had dimensions and measurements. And we have another dimension right here, per class. It's divided per class. You see that? So we can stretch this, we can make it bigger, we can make it smaller, whatever is more comfortable for you. And we're gonna change that title. How? Chart title, edit chart title, student grades graph. Perfect. Ta-da! You could put the legend on the right, on the top, on the left, right here. If you go to legend, you could change where it is. All right. So right here would be on the right. For some reason, it's hovering over the data. We don't want that. If that happens, make sure that you fix it and you put it somewhere that it's not overlapping the data. All right. So let's add another graph just for the fun of it. All right. So right here in insert, and we're going to add a line graph like this. So this is going to show us in another way, just to have a little different perspective. But what we're going to do is select the same information and OK. Ta-da! And look at Marco. Yes. So here we have a student grade line graph. So we're going to change that title right here. There we go. And here we have the colors for each name. In English, it's where he fell down, but we're all good in the rest. That's it. Alright, so make sure you save it, and once you go to Teams, this is the file that you are going to send me. Alright, so thank you for watching. I hope this helped you out in some way. I really do know that at some point in your future, sooner or later, this is going to be useful. So thank you very much for listening and watching. Bye bye.